What's up, everybody? Welcome back to No Trespassing Podcast. My name is Max Aguenza. I'm here with a few of my co-hosts today. I'll be mediating, but I'll let everybody introduce themselves.
I am Wesley Jackson.
I'm Luke Gilbo.
I'm Ryan Elman.
I'm Rodrigo Olvera.
Yeah, and this is the group of No Trespassing. We're just a bunch of college dudes going to be talking about sports, a little bit professional, a little bit collegiate, but we are catering to you guys, people here on campus, people here in Houston that are interested in anything that pertains to Houston sports. So just to pretty much get straight into it, we're going to be talking a little bit today about the future of the Final Four coming here to Houston, which is going to be a really big deal. It's going to be pretty intense because we, have a really good UH basketball team. So I'll let my guys talk about it a little bit and see some of their ideas. But yeah, what does everybody think about the Final Four being here in the next year or so?
How would we let our basketball guy take over first?
Well, I think this year is going to be, as part of the UH men's basketball team, we got a lot of projection about being in the Final Four and stuff, but, it's great that it's here, and we definitely want to be in it. But I think, for right now, we just kind of got to focus on what's ahead of us, the regular season, the conference season, and not buy into too much of the hype about the preseason.
Right.
And stuff like that, because teams like that might be feasible to get beat, and all our fans want us to be in the Final Four, so we're just gonna put in the work every day and try to put on for the city.
That's
Right.
true.
I think I also one thing I'm looking forward to is just the tourism that we're gonna get from especially hosting Final Four, and yeah, I'm just excited to see the many different people that are probably most likely gonna be showing up to Houston and seeing how packed or in what type of impact these people will have towards University of Houston and just Houston in general.
Yeah, can you imagine if the school got in, how crazy that
That
would
would
be?
be-
Like
that
that
would
would
be
just be the craziest week, maybe month ever at the school if it's in Houston and we make it. That would be so nuts.
I don't know for other schools that when Tech made the finals a few years ago or
Oh,
so,
yeah.
that they closed down their campus.
Did they?
On the championship game day? Yeah.
Like no classes and stuff.
Mhm.
Yep.
Whoa.
That's crazy.
No, that'd be nuts. That'd be so cool. I mean, if that happens, yeah, that'd be great. I mean, we did it 2 years ago, so we can definitely do it again. But the whole city, I mean, it wouldn't just be campus either. It would be the whole city.
The whole city.
The whole
Yeah.
city would be rowdy. It would be nuts.
This
It'd
whole
be
this whole city has completely engulfed our basketball team. Kelvin Sampson has just done an otherworldly, phenomenal job at bringing this team back on the map, back to our Phi Slamma Jamma days.
right. Absolutely. Yeah. No, he's incredible for sure. Well, I think that it'll be awesome, and I'm excited to see if it happens. That'll be in March if that happens.
March,
March
April.
That's this season.
It would be in April, the Final Four, but
For
yeah.
some reason, I was thinking it was in a couple years, but no, that would be literally this upcoming year. Yeah, no, that'd be huge, and that would be for this season too.
I mean, whatever happens, I think it's great for our basketball program regardless. I mean, the publicity the city's gonna get, it's good all around for the city.
100%.
Yeah, and it's not just UH2 hosting, it's going to be all the Houston area schools like Texas Southern, so I mean HBCU that can get good publicity from it.
Right.
Houston Baptist, Rice, so UH,
Houston Christian now.
yeah. Oh yeah,
Not
yeah.
Houston Baptist
But
anymore.
UH just for its name is going to get publicity, but it's also these other schools who have good teams. I mean, Texas Southern, they make the tournament almost every year coming out of the SWAC. So I mean, I think it's going to be cool, for not only just the UH and the biggest Houston school, but also the surrounding ones to kind of get some attention and some financial benefits too.
And it's our last year in the American.
Yeah, so it's
So
a
if
better
you-
way to go out.
To go to host the Final Four in our last ever year in this conference, to go to the Power Five,
Right.
would just be one of the most. It would just be so amazing, dude.
Yeah.
So as a player, how do you feel that impacts you guys necessarily,
I mean-
individually, if you were to make it that far?
I mean, 2 years ago we made it to Final Four. Last year to Elite Eight. I mean, a lot of people just always ask us Final Four in Houston, Final Four this, that. But I mean, in reality, we just gotta continue to do what we do and not just look ahead to that, and at the end of the day, it'll be the same people.
What about like scouts? You think like you would have a better opportunity, a greater opportunity to potentially maybe go
I mean,
to the league?
I think everybody, like all the scouts and stuff for our players, they watch every game, stuff like that, and just not the Final Four. But I mean, the longer you can play in March, the
Right.
better, because the more exposure the
Right.
players are going to get, and playing every game on nationally televised TV is definitely beneficial than just like an ESPN Plus network or something like that.
Yeah, it's one step at a time for sure. I mean, you just got to take it day by day and game by game. But like, I mean, I know for sure, regardless of what happens, I'm gonna try to at least get a ticket to one of those games and try to
Right.
be there. Like, I know the energy is gonna be just insane, and like tenfold if we make it.
And I feel like that would also help like each individual brand. You know how you have your own
Yeah.
brand and making it pretty far. At least like you said, like having more people tune in and stuff like that. Like that would definitely bring a lot more people to see you guys and especially buy the merch. And
Yeah.
Right. It seems like everybody's excited, which is a good thing. I'm happy to see that everybody's excited. I know that we're a pretty big basketball school, so we have a lot of reason to be excited for this. So
Right.
it's just like it's kind of like the stars are aligning for us in like the perfect way. Perfect. Good. Glad. Okay, we can cut that. That was good.
I thought that was great.
Perfect.
Again.
Okay, so now that we've talked about Final Four, we've talked about the game itself. I guess that really our people want to know. It's like where do we watch the games? Not only for people that live here in Houston, but where are people that are not from Houston? Like, what are some places that you guys? Like, I gotta watch the game here. I like the food. I like the drink. I like the atmosphere. Like, what's the spot here that some college kids or even just people that are tuning in would like to go check out while they're here?
For me, it's Pitch 25. Is my favorite one. There's a bunch of bars that are right outside Minute Maid, right outside PNC Stadium, Toyota Center, all that. And Pitch 25 is right there, and it's great food, the great drinks, great price. Like cornhole, you can play soccer if you want. They have a shit ton of games. It's phenomenal.
For me, it would have to be like Little Woodrow's. This is something that me and my friends used to go do all the time, especially when there was game days or anything like that. We used to go to Little Woodrow's because it is very open. I enjoy being outside more than I do enjoy like being inside in an enclosed space. And so Little Woodrow's, is one of the places that I would highly suggest going to, visiting, especially like if you're wanting to get that like college sport experience. Highly suggest it.
Yeah, I even to build on that, I mean, I know Lil Woodrow's has done like NIL deals with some of the basketball players, like Mark Sasser and Jamal Shed, where like they just go and play pop a shot and it's just like and watch games,
Right.
Have some food. I think they also kind of do like interaction games like turtle races.
Yeah,
and stuff
turtle
like
Oh
that.
yeah,
races,
turtle
that's
races.
awesome.
Yeah.
Like like
Been one of those.
on a Monday night when there's like a Monday night football game like right before the game
Right.
they'll do so like it just seems like Lil Woodrow's definitely has
A lot to offer.
a lot to offer the Houston kind of scene. I think they have many different locations.
There's so many
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
There's like everywhere. I feel.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean I think that's a good spot. You got any other spots?
Yeah, for me, I recently discovered one earlier on. Year. It's called the Den. It's on campus. It's really right next to the Welcome Center. It's a nice chill spot. There's TVs all around. It's a great bar scene. I mean, the bathroom could use a little work.
What is it, small or
It's
just kind
kind of gross.
Kind of gross.
I ate there today. I had some fries. They're pretty good.
Nice.
Food's pretty good. I've had their burger there. But yeah, I mean, it's a convenient spot to go to if you're on campus. It's not far. It's a great meetup spot.
It's a cheap little
Yeah,
college bar. It's nothing
guaranteed
special.
to like no opponent's team will be there. That's all U of H
Right.
like
Yeah.
guaranteed.
For sure.
Nowhere.
For sure. I've never been during game day, but I know that like
Oh, it gets packed.
it does it. Yeah, I know that it gets packed with like our own people because it's literally here on campus. Like I'm sure anytime we play,
I went for the first round of the March Madness last year when we played UAB.
Busy.
Pretty great spot.
nice. That's cool.
Yeah, I went one time after a game, and I walked in there with one of my mom's friends and her husband. They came down, and they like took me in there, and like people was like just a pack, and like a few of us players like I mean, I never been there on my own, but I mean, they kind of like were still like kind of like talking about the game. I can just tell it was like true fans in there, and
Right.
they had pretty good sized TVs, and you know, there wasn't really a bad spot to watch. I think that's all. Like we kind of sometimes we want to go to a bar for the atmosphere and the fans and stuff like that, but we got to make sure it has like good TVs and
Right.
stuff like that. So
Especially because it's on campus. Like,
Yeah.
you're most likely going to find college students, you know, and especially University of Houston college students,
Right.
which is, like you were saying, the type of people that we're wanting to be around, especially if we're playing against another rival team or something like that. You don't want to be, you know, you don't want to be sitting next to the rival, somebody that's going for the rival team. So, yeah, I mean, I think that the Den is like a really good place to go, especially like if you're looking for that type of atmosphere and just kind of like being around the same type of fans.
Yeah, for sure. The Den is cool. Like, I mean, you don't even have to stay here on campus. Like, you can literally, I feel like you can go anywhere. Like, any of these bars that you guys have mentioned, like any of our UH games or any Houston team in general, like, it's just gonna be people ready to like root for their team, especially like if they're from here in Houston. And like we talked about in the last segment, like everybody in the city seems to be rallying pretty heavily around the UH basketball team and football team pretty hard right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, cool, perfect. Those are some spots to go eat. Y'all can go check out. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so let's get into like the real topic right now. And you know, we're here in Houston, Astros in the World Series. The series is now tied 2-2 against the Phillies. It's been pretty crazy so far. Astros are playing another NL East team, and it's a really good one this time too. So let's just dive right into it. We got another game tonight. How we feeling? What's everybody's mindset on this?
You go ahead. I started off.
Well, let me start off by saying Astros in 6 for sure.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah.
Poor Ryan, he's a Phillies fan.
Do it for Dusty. Do it for Dusty.
Do it for
Exactly.
Dusty. As a Giants fan, I can for sure attest that like do it for Dusty, 100%. And Mauricio Dubon, so yes, absolutely, 100%.
Just came off one of the greatest pitching performances I've ever seen in my life. We just witnessed a World Series no-hitter last night.
When was the last time? 1950?
1956, when Don Larson
1956.
threw a perfect game in Game 5 of the World Series against the I think the Dodgers.
Crazy.
That's insane.
I mean, even though it's combined, it's still so impressive. Like, stupid impressive how it, like, because, I mean, I think it's a little more impressive in a sense that, like, anybody can come in and have an off night and, like, throw that away. If you leave Christian Javier in the whole time, it's like, he could have maybe done it, but, like, you get other guys involved and, like, somebody might be an off night, but everybody kept it up the whole time, and, like, it was just domination from the beginning to the end. I mean, it was pretty remarkable, really.
Javier could not be touched with his
Yeah.
fastball. Just utter dominance.
Yeah. Crazy.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna come in here, you know, as a Phillies fan from Philadelphia. I mean, you know, I have conflicting interests. I mean, I love Houston. The city provides, you know, the Astros provide so much for the city and stuff. But I mean, I grew up a Phillies fan, and you know, to see them like the Astros are always good. The
Right.
Phillies aren't always good, you know. So we're finally in the thing. I know my family back home, grandparents and all that. They text me every night, like in a group chat. Every hit we get, they're like, "Boom, let's go," like stuff like that. But I saw a video of Mattress Mac. You know, he's had such a great impact on the sports world and his betting and you know all his crazy wagers. I've seen something like he's up to 75 mil if he wins this or something. And like somebody said that Caesar's fourth quarter of the year depends on literally his bet.
Right.
And it's
Yeah.
just crazy to think. And then I saw him; he was like going at the Phillies fans because the Phillies fans, which Philly fans are,
They heckle.
They're crazy.
They heckle.
They're crazy, and they'll even boo their own team. They don't.
Yeah.
They don't care. I mean,
Mhm.
you know, like Allen Iverson, stuff like that. They would boo him on his nights, and he would drop 50 the next night.
Right.
And you know, they even have in the Eagles stadium. They even have a jail down
Underneath,
below Lincoln
really?
Financial Field because they got how crazy they are. So they
Yeah.
just have to like contain them in there for a little bit and then do whatever needs to be done. But I mean, to see the Philly fans right before that, he said that you know he had a great time. Mattress Mac said he had a great time in Philadelphia, and all that, but you know, they get a little competitive about their sports, and they can be a little belligerent, a little, you know, so.
Yeah.
There was a caterer or an owner of a restaurant in Philadelphia who right before Game 3, the Astros reached out to him saying, "Would you mind catering like our lunch for us?" And he literally said no.
Yeah, I saw that. People in the
That's
group
crazy.
chat were saying, well, I guess Philly fans are just loyal, and I was like, yeah,
They're
but
fanatics.
Because
They're Philly fanatics.
Yeah.
The amount of money you would get from catering to
Right.
to
Right.
the baseball team in the World Series.
He was like,
I'm
no.
sorry, that's just dumb.
It
That's
is.
just dumb.
It is a
Well,
little dumb.
Going back to like what you were talking about Mattress Mac, I think his business strategy is just insane.
Yeah.
Like he is a very intelligent man, and the way that he does things, especially like doing bets and giving free furniture away. I mean, he's winning either way. Either way, even if the Astros lose, he's winning because people are gonna obviously pay for the furniture and everything that they're doing. And it's like it's not even like, oh, you have to buy like one thing. It's like you have to buy a certain amount of things and have to spend a certain amount of money to then potentially, if the Astros do win it all, get it all for free. But if the Astros win it, then he's got this, multi-million-dollar bet on the line, and either way, he's winning.
I mean, everyone wins because. Well, go ahead.
Well, it's good for him and the city.
Yeah.
And the
And
city as well,
Yeah.
and people. But
He
he does a lot. for
He
the
gives a
city,
lot
too.
of it back, like whether it's either in money or he just like says, "I'm giving away mattresses." Like
Mhm.
he always figures out a way to just start giving stuff back.
He became a national treasure to the city during
Yeah.
Hurricane Harvey when he literally opened up
Opened up.
all of his stores to people who didn't have a home anymore
Right.
and just let them sleep on his bed. And he lost an insane amount of money from that, and he didn't care. He didn't care about the money. He cared about the city.
Yeah, and it's crazy. Like now that like for some reason it seems like this World Series compared to others, like he's put on a bigger pedestal this year. Like nationally, like people are starting to
Well,
recognize
he
him.
even went to Philly and did some out of Atlantic City, New Jersey, with some fires and stuff like that.
Did he?
And just like helping out them. So I mean,
Yeah, he's an
Th-
icon.
This
for
is
sure.
like the third year in a row. I think like because I think ever since like 2020 he's bet on the Astros to win the World Series before the postseason or like when the postseason starts. And like in 2020 was like the most money ever placed on a bet in history. Was like one alert I got. Then at the final when U of H basketball came to the Final Four, he placed a bet on them to win it all, and that was the next then the largest bet ever placed. Now this year, that's the largest bet ever placed on ever in a sports book, and he keeps topping himself. He's on a losing streak. He's never won one of his bets
Yeah,
yet.
yeah, I know. He
Yeah, but he always ends up winning.
yeah.
Yeah. And that's pretty good. He loses more money from the bets than we'll probably ever see in our lifetimes.
The way he hedges it, the way he sells, the way he's adored. So I mean, it's hard to lose money when everybody in the city like literally
I
is
just
like,
hope the Phillies can get it done.
oh man.
Get out of here, man.
I would be so happy for Bryce Harper. That's all I'm gonna leave
Yeah,
at.
but-
I'm gonna
It,
leave
it
straight
sucks
at
that it has to happen with Bryce Harper here. I was like, Dusty needs his ring.
No,
Dusty needs his ring.
Dusty does need a ring.
He does.
2002 Giants should have given it to him, but it didn't happen. It's all good. All right. Doing seems like they're tanking a little bit this year. Seems like they are still trying to figure things out, trying to get another really good first round pick. You guys have any thoughts on that? I know that our viewers are going to be interested in talking about the Rockets for sure.
I think it's a weird situation to start off because the talent that they have, their young talent, would in no way indicate that they should be tanking, or at least like tanking as bad as they are right now. They have unbelievable talent despite how young they are. I think the main problem is just is Steven Silas. He is not the head coach of the future, and I don't know how many more games he may even last.
Well, I think because we are such a young team, like I don't really see like the effect of obviously like tanking, because I think that's something that young teams have to go through, especially like because most of the players there are new to this organization and come from other places. I feel like at the end of the day they have to get a little bit more comfortable, and that might take years. But at the same time, that can also affect the organization, because a lot of times, or what organizations will do is that they'll pick players that are they're wanting to build, and eventually once they build these players, which I don't know, I mean it doesn't happen all the time, but when it does, you'll have other teams that will pick them up or will trade for other players. Whereas it's just like, well, we've been building these players from the beginning, and now all of a sudden you're having other teams. We're not seeing like, I guess the full.
This year.
You're right. Yeah. So
Yeah, I mean, I think to go off what you're saying is like, right now the Rockets have been not so successful the past few years. You know, seeing like you're an avid Rockets fan, repping the jersey, and they've gotten great players, young talent. Jabari Smith, Jalen Green, Deshaun Nix, Josh Christopher,
Usman Garuba,
Garuba,
Sengun.
Sengun. Yeah, KPJ. So I mean, they have some of the top young rising prospects. I mean, it's just gonna take a few years for them to really develop, and you know, it might take a veteran or two to get on the team to really make the team take off. But I mean, there's a prospect out of France, Victor Wembanyama, that they're saying he's going to be a generational talent, and which is why a lot of the NBA teams, including the Rockets, are really in a fight to get him. And they're I saw something the other day that even said that the commissioner is looking at possible anti-tanking rules, and it's crazy that it's happening this year, but it's because like this guy, I mean, he's that good. I watched him against the G League night when they played the other Scoot Henderson guy, and he's like the projected number 2 pick, and the kid had like 40 points, and he's playing like a professional team with a professional team, and he averaged like 35 and like 10 boards. And so after that, like all these teams, the Thunder, all of them wanted to start tanking, and it's crazy to think that like this one guy is just going to control the season. But I mean, to stay on the topic of the Rockets, I think that you know, they're going to be really good in the future, and then you know you add a dude, Victor Wembanyama, or some really good, another really good player. All of a sudden they have like a really good team that people have more years of experience under the belt.
So, what do you think? Do you think it's a good idea for the Rockets organization to look outside of the United States for players? You know how a lot of teams have been wanting to look for players in Europe and other places.
I mean,
do you think it's kind of right now Europe is like the place to?
Yeah, I mean, like they got some of the best players like Luka, even Şengün for the Rockets. He's already been
He
really
was the
good for
Turkish
them.
League MVP when he was 19 years old.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
and so like these, the Victor kid's like 7'4" and just has like attributes that like
Crazy wingspan.
Oh, I think
Yeah.
I've seen this dude. Super lanky, tall.
Yeah.
It was literally after that when Wembanyama versus the number 2 rated prospect or whatever. After that game, that Silver came out was saying like, oh, we want to look at these anti-taking rules because like they saw those 2 players fighting. It was like, okay, we can't have this happen.
And now the NBA app is saying he plays for Metropolitan 72 right now, a team from France. They came out and said that whether you're a subscriber or not, all of his games are going to be streamed for free.
Oh,
So
wow.
that makes you think that they really want the NBA fans to really see this kid, and it will help them gain more excitement and enthusiasm about when he comes into the league next year.
I'd say for the most part that I know everybody in here in Houston is probably just like praying that like any kind of effect that goes in for tanking, like please let it be like in the next year or two, because I know that like if they tank and they get him, and I've seen this guy too, and I don't even watch basketball like that. If they get this guy, like, and if he puts on a little bit more muscle too, like that guy
Yeah.
would just be like
Insane.
insanely good. So I think for the sake of the fans here in Houston, like tanking has got to happen if they want to get
Perfect.
him. I
So-
think we should wrap this one up. No trespassing. This was a successful first episode. I want to thank all you guys. Appreciate everything y'all had to say. This was a lot of fun. For sure, everybody that's watching, whoever's watching, maybe we'll upload another one. We'll see what's going on. This is for class, but you never know. If you guys like it, we'll upload another one. But we appreciate you guys. And everybody be good, be safe, and yeah, I guess everybody go Astros.
H-Town.
Go Phils!